Understanding Emerging Perceptions of Cultured Meat, a Mind Genomics Approach. This study explored what everyday people think about cultured meat, real meat grown from animal cells in a lab instead of raising and slaughtering animals. Since this is a new concept, researchers wanted to know how people understand it and what messages make them feel positive about it. To find out, they presented groups of people with different combinations of short statements about cultured meat. These statements covered topics like its taste, how it's made, its environmental benefits, and its ethical implications. People were asked how much they agreed with each combination. The key finding was that people's understanding of cultured meat is currently very fuzzy. They often agreed with statements that directly contradicted each other, suggesting they don't have a solid mental picture of what it is. The research identified 3 distinct groups, or mindsets, within the general public. Group 1 is most influenced by what the product is made from and what it looks like. Example, is it a burger or a steak? Group 2 cares most about sustainability, like helping the environment and the ingredients. Group 3 focuses on the ethical and social aspects, as well as the final product's form. These groups aren't defined by age, gender, or income, they are based on underlying priorities. The study concludes that public perception is still forming and recommends tracking these attitudes over time as the technology develops and cultured meat becomes more widely available. Introduction. Cultured meat, sometimes called lab-grown meat, is a new type of food that is creating a lot of discussion. Instead of coming from a farm animal, it is made by growing animal cells in a lab to form muscle tissue, much like how meat is grown inside an animal, but without the need for slaughter. Supporters highlight major potential benefits. This process could significantly reduce the environmental harm of traditional livestock farming, such as pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. It also promises a controlled, disease-free way to produce meat, allowing for adjustments to make it healthier, like improving its fat content. However, cultured meat faces significant hurdles. The technology is still new and expensive, struggling to produce large quantities of meat that perfectly mimics the taste and texture of conventional meat. Furthermore, consumer acceptance is a major challenge. Unlike plant-based meats, which are seen as a natural, vegan-friendly option, the idea of meat from a lab can be met with skepticism and emotional hesitation. People's willingness to try it depends on their trust in science, how the product is presented, and their general views on food technology. While plant-based meats have already found success in stores, cultured meat is still in its early stages. This research aims to understand how everyday consumers react to different messages about cultured meat to see if a clear and appealing picture of this novel food can be formed in the public mind. Discussion and conclusions. This study explored whether a research method called mind genomics, which has successfully mapped people's opinions on many topics for decades, could work for the new concept of cultured meat. Surprisingly, the method failed to give a clear picture of what people think. The researchers suggest the problem may not be the science but the name itself. The term cultured meat is unfamiliar and might be confusing, perhaps making people think of probiotic foods like yogurt rather than meat grown from animal cells in a lab. A simpler term like test tube meat might be easier for the public to understand. This is a first look at public perception of this new technology. The study recommends repeating this research annually over the next 10 years to track how people's understanding and acceptance of cultured meat evolves as the technology develops and products potentially enter the market. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel BP International to watch more videos in the fields of science, technology and medicine.